Hey guys, welcome back to Saturday Night Sit Down, where we talk about love, marriage, money, and everything in between. I'm your host, Tammy Pinnock. Guys, it has been 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks that I haven't uploaded. And guys, I really did miss you all so much. But I'm back and hopefully I will start, uploading regularly like I used to do. If this is the first time of stopping by, you are very welcome. And for those of you that keeps coming back every weekend, guys, I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Guys, listen, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing. When you do, you'll be the first to get a notification whenever I upload a new video. So, on today's episode, guys, I want to talk on a topic. My husband changed completely after our wedding. My husband changed completely after our wedding. So, without wasting your time, let's dive right in. Welcome back, guys. Now, there are so many reasons why, a man could change completely after wedding. Some men are just, chameleons. They pretend during courtship, and after wedding, that's when you get to see and know the real man that you've married. But financial pressure, in my opinion, is one of the major reasons why a man would change completely after the wedding. Because when you date a man, the time of dating is time to, it's a time for you to know each other. So I would assume that if you dated a man, you would have learned one or two things about them, what they like and what they don't like, and vice versa. So it's very rare to see that, immediately after wedding or shortly after the wedding, the man just completely changed completely. Their character, their attitude completely changed. Because some women, I've heard women say, what, the man is not even the same man that I dated, that he has completely changed. And I feel most men change completely after wedding because of financial pressure. I know it's every woman's dream, to have a flamboyant wedding. They want to have a fairy tale wedding. They want to have a wedding that, is the talk of the town, that people will talk about, maybe years and years after they've been married. And so when the right man comes along and proposes to these ladies, they completely forget that after the wedding day starts the marriage. That the marriage, which is the real deal, starts immediately after the wedding. They completely forget about the marriage itself and they focus completely on their wedding day. Some women will even go as far as putting so much pressure on the man. They put so much pressure on the man that the man will go to the extent of, borrowing money from the bank. He goes and borrows money from friends, borrows money from family, and he gets himself into a lot of debt just to please the woman and her family. And also some families, they give the man a massive list of what they want before the man can marry their daughter. And some are so greedy, they demand so much, they squeeze that man completely, forgetting that after the wedding comes the marriage, that there is life after the wedding. And so this man, even before the wedding is already in a lot of debt. And so after the wedding, when the wedding is come and gone, the guests, they've come, they've eaten, they've enjoyed themselves, they've all gone home. Now it remains just the woman and the man at home. Now the bank is calling, they need their money paid back. Friends and family wants their money to be paid back. And that puts a lot of pressure on the man. And with new bride, especially with our young ones, they still expect the man to take them out for dinner, take them out for dates, still buy them nice clothes, nice shoes, nice handbag. They still want to live as, they used to when they were dating, when the man used to shower them with a lot of gifts. They still expect that same standard of living when they get into marriage. And so when things start going the opposite direction, you see them reacting in a different way. And then you find out that when the pressure on the man is too much financially, his behavior and his attitude towards the wife will completely change. And also, if, fortunately or unfortunately, that girl becomes pregnant, during that time of struggle, and then brings a baby into this world, that baby that is coming, that is supposed to bring joy to the family, to that man, it brings, an extra pressure on him, because the baby needs to be fed, baby needs to be clothed, baby needs to be kept warm. When baby is hungry, you have to provide. And when the man is unable to meet, provide the basic needs for his family, he becomes, he feels like he's no longer a man. And that affects him psychologically. And of course, it will change. That will change him. Your jokes that usually used to make him laugh, your jokes will start irritating him. It will flip at every slight provocation because mentally he is stressed. Financially, he can't meet up the standard. He will start to feel disappointed in himself that he can't look after his family. As ladies, especially for the young ones, when you are about to get married, you don't just have to focus solely on your wedding day, because you have to remember that you are not doing your wedding to please anybody. You're not doing your wedding to satisfy anybody. You are doing it for yourself. So you have to think about life after your wedding. So you don't just spend all your savings, all your all the money that you have on the wedding day, because anything can happen after the wedding. Like some people will think, it's not applicable to me because, I'm working, my husband is working, so we'll be fine. But you never know. Anything can happen in life. You can have a good, secure job one minute, and the next minute that job is gone. So what do you do if you've borrowed a lot of money from people to have this, big flamboyant wedding? And then after the wedding, you lose your job and that source of income just stops. And then people are coming, wanting their money back. The pressure becomes too much. And before you know it, that will lead to, argument, fights in the home. And it can break the home if the couples are not matured enough to handle it. And now, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because I myself has been through that experience. I've had it, firsthand. Before I got married, I used to be a workaholic. I used to work 6 days a week, 12.5 hours every day. I was a workaholic. My husband as well was a workaholic. He can work, my husband can work 14 days non-stop. That's how crazy it was. We were both working. We were both, hard working people before we met. And we had a bit of savings on our own. And then when he proposed to me and then we started planning for the wedding, like I said, it's a woman's dream to, have the fairy tale wedding. You want the wedding to be big. My husband didn't want a big wedding. He wanted a nice, small, quiet, ceremony. But I, on the other hand, I was like, it's my wedding day. I want it big. I wanted this. I want that. And he succumbed. And this is what most men would usually do. They succumb to the request of their wives or their wife to be, because they want her to be happy on our big day. So we spent a lot of money on our wedding. I think we spent maybe just under 14,000 pounds on our wedding, and that is even less because we had really great people, friends that has become part of our lives, friends that has become family to us, that really supported us. They did a lot. Especially there's a woman, I just shout out to Sister Fatima. You are amazing. Sister Fatima is an amazing woman. She's a caterer. She did all the catering for free. And usually in this part of the world, catering, it's very expensive, but she did that for us absolutely free. So we would have spent close to maybe almost 20,000 pounds if she had started just for that. And we had other amazing good friends and close friends that really supported us during our wedding. But we spent a lot of money. We spent a lot of money, the money that we had in our savings. We even borrowed some money, you know, to just make that day a big and a special day. But after, because we thought that, you know, we're both working, so we'll be fine. But just before the wedding, my husband lost his job. And then after the wedding, I became really, really sick. You know, wicked people of this world, maybe, I don't know, they didn't want me to get married or something. You know, village people, you know them, you know how they operate. They attacked me spiritually. I was seriously sick, and the doctors could not find anything that was wrong with me. But I was dying. And that affected everything. So I couldn't go to work. I couldn't go to work. My husband didn't have a job. So it was a struggle. The first few years of our married life was, we struggled financially. But luckily, because we both are matured, you know, we got married at a late age, we're matured. We've had life experiences already before. And we told ourselves, no matter what happens, that we were going to make it work. So we struggled financially. That put a strain on our relationship, but we were able to walk through it all and came out of the other side smiling, because, like I said, we got married at a matured age. But the young ones, when they go into marriage, you know, their expectations are so high. When something like that happens, sometimes they can't stand the heat. It will break them. So don't just think about, you know, your wedding day. Think about life after wedding, because anything can happen. And most men, like when they are, you know, under financial pressure, they break. Men can't cope under financial pressure, and that can cause a man to change. It can cause a man to change. Before you know it, some will start drinking. Before you know it, some will start smoking. Before you know it, some goes out and they don't come back for days. And some women as well, you know, because they nag a lot when they don't have things their own way, when the man can't provide. Instead of them to understand and work with the man, they start nagging. When they start nagging, some men will, you know, they can't take it. Before you know, they raise their hand on the wife. It becomes all a mess. So, ladies, don't focus solely on your wedding day. Always remember that there is life after the wedding. Life after the wedding is the real deal. People will come and celebrate with you and eat all you have provided, and they go home, and a few hours later, they sit on the toilet and all that money is down the drain. And they go on with their lives. But you will be in the marriage, you know, to pick up the pieces. You will be in the marriage, you know, to go through all that hardship that you can easily avoid. My advice to ladies is that cut your coat according to your size. And this is not just to ladies, it's to ladies and to men as well. Cut your coat according to your size. You're not in a competition with anybody. You don't have to have a flamboyant wedding. Think of life after wedding. Think of anything can happen. I know most times people will say, oh, I believe in God, you know, it will never happen to me. You never know. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. The man can be in an accident, the woman can be in an accident, somebody can fall sick, somebody can lose his job. What would then happen if you don't have some sort of backup, if you don't have some sort of savings that can, you know, carry you through that trying period? So for me, that's one of the major reasons why a man can change completely after the wedding. When a man is under financial pressure, it can easily change for the worst. So ladies, support your husband. And you know, this is the main reason why I also stress the fact that it is good for a woman to be doing some sort of job or business. Don't just rely solely on your husband financially, because then you're putting so much pressure. You're putting unnecessary pressure on your husband. Have something doing. Get a part-time job, start a business, so that in case of anything, you can also support your husband. Well, guys, that's it from me today. Thank you so much for taking your time, you know, spending your time with me on my channel. If you haven't subscribed, guys, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my uploads. Till next week Saturday, guys, I'm your host, Chami Pinnock. Bye now. Bye. Let it go.